Hi guys, so today we will learn like how we can create a EC2 instance in AWS. So here like we will just see like how we can directly create an EC2 instance. So I'll be creating that EC2 instance of OS Linux OS. So maybe like you can that both for Linux as well as for Windows the process is same. The only thing is for Windows we will be uh, for Windows we need to connect through RDP, and for Linux we will be able to connect directly from this management studio. So let's go to instances. Currently you can see 0 instances are running. Then we need to click on this launch instance. We need to give that uh, instance name. I'm giving this is for demo. Then I am selecting that OS image. After that image we need to select instance type. So I'm selecting T2 micro. Then key pair. This key pair is required to connect to that EC2 from your putty, or if you want to do SSH anything. Then most important is that networking part. We need to select that VPC subnet. That if we want to enable this, I'll just enable this. That public IP, then security group, all those things we need to select. And here in that security group I am just enabling to connect from anywhere to TCP 2022 port. And if any volume you want to add, that you can add it. And then in advanced details also you will be able to see that if any IAM role you want to attach, that host name, uh, all these things you can just check it once time. I'm just giving that by default details whatever we are having here in this advanced setting. If anything you want to install, then that in that user data you can give it those commands, and after giving those commands it will automatically run those commands after creating this VM. So I'm just clicking on this launch instance. So here I am using that by default setting only, that VPC subnets, all those things are that by default only, and I'm just clicking on this launch instance. So you can see like that instance has been launched, means EC2 instance is getting created now. You can see that instance state, it is still pending. And that public IP and DNS we already allotted for this EC2 instance. So let's wait for some times to get this instance started. So instance it says running, but that status check it is still initializing. So once these status checks are ready, means then we can connect to this VM and see like if it is working or not. Just few things you need to take care is like I already told you, like uh, for this Linux one you need to have this 22 port enabled if you want to connect it from your putty. For Windows 3389 port should be enabled in your security group. I already showed you like where you can see that security group while creating that VM, but still here also you will be able to see this is that subnet, this is that VPC, this is your public IP DNS, uh, public IP which got assigned. So this is like this is not an elastic public IP. If you want to create an elastic public IP, you can create it and then you can assign it so that this IP doesn't got changed once you refresh the system. Then if you will come to that security, here you will see that security group. If you will just click on the security group in inbound rule, you will be able to see currently we have only one inbound rule, where what we say is just SSH port 22 should be enabled, and it should be accessible from anywhere. 0.0.0/0 I have given. So from anywhere it is enabled. This setting is not correct for our production environment, so this is just for a testing purpose. So if you want to just make the system available from that particular server or any particular IP you are having, then that particular IP you can give it here instead of this all that access all the IP accessibility. Then you can do a save rule. Okay, so once this is done, then maybe let's come back to this instances here. Is still that status check is initializing. Let's wait for some more time, and once this status check are updated, then we'll connect it. We'll see if we are able to connect. So as I told you, like there are two ways. One is like you can directly connect it from this Azure is AWS portal. Second is like you can use putty, you can use public IP, and you can use that key which you have selected while creating this VM. Yeah, so this. Uh, that's all for creating that EC2 instance. So this much details you need to have in your mind for creating EC2 instance. Yeah, definitely, like if you want to go into more deep, means that time you can create all that VPC, then subnet, private public subnet, that whether you want to create that private VM or public VM which will be publicly accessible, that complete architect. If you want to do it, then for that I'll create one separate video where I'll be showing you all those details. But for now, like this demo is just to showcase you like how we can create an VM and how we can connect to a VM. So now you can see that status check, 2 out of 2 checks are passed. Now what I'm doing is I'm just directly connecting from this management portal itself. I'll just click on connect, and as 22 port is already enabled, so you can see that connection is getting establishing. Let's see like if it connects or not. Yeah, now we are able to connect to this VM, you can see. So here we have that yum package manager, and you will be able to run all the commands whatever you want to run it. You will be able to install everything. Yeah, so one more thing is like, let's say if that security group I told you, right? So if you will just disable this, if you will just delete this rule and save this, and now if you will try to connect, right? So then there is no rule to allow that no traffic is coming to this 2022 port where our SSH service is running. So it is trying to establishing a connection. Let's see if it connects. So see, it is throwing an error, failed to connect to your instance. EC2 instance connect is unable to connect to your instance. Ensure your instance network setting are configured correctly. So that's what I was telling you, because this is now this VM is not accepting connection on 20. This VM is accepting connection on 2022 port, but on security group we have disabled that. Like we are not allowing any public access to that particular port. So to in order to work it, what we need to do, that TCP port, that port name is 2022 port where our SSH service will be running, and maybe I'll just give that from everywhere I want to connect it. Now I have added that. I'll just refresh this and see if I'm able to connect or not. So now you can see I am able to connect. Yeah, so that's all for this demo. So if you have any doubt, you can comment in this video, or you can directly send me a message. I will have a look and I will try to help you out. Thanks for watching, and please hit like and subscribe button. Thank you all.